Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So we've got a couple more Shonen Jump chapters to get through before I start tearing down my office here to go on hiatus. So we got Kanebanashi Kaiju No.8 and Goku Rakugai coming your way today. So if you haven't already, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But without further ado, let us dive into it with Kaiju No.8, Chapter 110 by Naoya Matsumoto. So we pick up where we left off last time with a little flashback to baby Mina and baby Kafka going, let's wipe out the kaiju together. As you have, alright, let's do it, as they're facing off against number 9's like dual-headed form now. And you have now neutralizing Kaiju number 9. And of course you have translation by David Evelyn, lettering by Brandon Bovia. And as everyone's watching, you see them both like dashing towards him. And you see him like puffing up his arms through like the explosion blast towards both of them. And you see Kafka just like diving through it with like a block. And he flashes back to him telling Mina, I still have 2 techniques he doesn't know about. If I can hit his core before he figures them out, then we win. But if I can't, then... And she's like, got it. I'll provide covering fire and strip away his shield. He's like, Kafka, put everything you've got into hitting that core. He's even just like launching forward with a fist as he and number 9 clash. And as he's charging up like another one of his little fist bubbles, you see a series of explosions from Mina's with a drum, and she just like shuts off explosions and stops him. And you see a boom as he shoots off like a bunch of blasts towards her side. And as he's distracted by that, you see Kafka kind of punching him again in the chest. And you see he's blocking his arm to like absorb the blow, and you see like it's blown it apart. And you see him like opening his mouth to send off a shockwave blast. And you see Mina doing another volley of blasts to knock out one of his legs. And you have amazing! Her support fire is not only absurdly powerful, but also incredibly precise. You have her approach now compared to when she's teamed up with Vice Captain Hoshina is like night and day. We're witnessing a completely different side of her. And you have Eye Patch Bro's name, I can't remember, going, having support changes things. He can use techniques he's already revealed now. Use that momentum and force your way through. As you crackle, you have this reading. Number 2 shockwave is coming. And as he's like getting ready to discharge, you see Kafka is like leaning down as he uses the force like jump up to dodge the blast. And you have, he dodged it! It's like number 9 isn't the only one learning, and you see him like coming back down with like an axe kick onto number 9's face. And you see as he's leaping back, Kafka's pursuing. And you have, he experienced that in the fight with Isao too. And you see a boom, 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 boom as number 9 is like charging up something in his tail. And he kind of slashes it forward to deal like a bunch of explosions. And Jeff, that wasn't one of number 9's or number 2's. We have no data on that attack. It's like number 9 is housing several abilities in one body? And Mina flashes back to like inside where she saw like the weird like amalgamation of all the kaiju. And she's like, Kafka, there are countless kaiju inside of number 9. I don't know what that thing was, but tread carefully. He's still got tricks up his sleeve. And you see them doing like another volley of blows and exchanges with number 9. Yeah, push through, push through, push through. And you see in the next one as number 9 like slams Kafka into a wall with one of his assume fists and sends a shockwave into Mina, sending her crashing into a wall. And you have, they can't reach it. It's like not even number 8 and Ashiro's powers combined are enough. It's like they're all out of options. And he's like, yeah, that makes sense, number 9. You're the same kaiju that Captain Narumi and I couldn't lay a scratch on back then. It's like, don't tell this to anyone else. That includes Captain Ashiro. It's like the combat techniques were our ace in the hole. I couldn't even tell Mina about them. But this is something I searched for on my own that I kept secret from even Vice Captain Hoshina. An ace even deeper. Fucking Christ. An ace even deeper in the hole. And you see him in one of the training rooms, like all these craters everywhere. He's just like holding onto his arm. And you see Narumi standing nearby. He's like, I can control it for... Alright. I can control it for 1 minute. He's like, kill. 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 It's like, I know you want to kill, right? I'm going to set you free. It's like, so give me your strength. And you see the kaiju that like... The kaiju bug that absorbed Kafka initially. As he's giving it control. And you see him starting to transform into his berserker form. So I guess quick thoughts on the chapter. I don't know, like it was nice seeing the Kafka Mina team up, but I feel like the line where it's like, oh, we're seeing a completely different side of her doesn't really completely land Because again, I feel like that would have been something that would have had more heft or weight if we'd seen a little bit more interaction from them earlier on, or seen them like, having training, having done some training with like a little mini time skip. I think that would have kind of lent more idea of the credence of like, because they had such a strong bond since childhood, now that they've kind of like, reinvigorated it. It's kind of coming back to the surface. That's why they work so well in like tandem. I think it would be a little bit more believable, so to speak, with that. Apart from that, I feel like, it feels like Matsumoto-san is kind of feels like he's kind of rushing towards, like he's getting tired of the fight. He's kind of rushing towards the end where he's like, oh my god, it's like number 9's pulling out all these abilities we didn't know he has before. And then Kafka being like, it's like I'm gonna get, my even deeper ace in the hole. It's like I'm gonna let the kaiju out. It's like, oh, ha, ha, ha. So it feels like it's very much like trying to rush towards the finale of this fight. Again, I do not know if we're actually gonna get a continuation beyond this, or if this is gonna be heading into the finale of the series and just gonna leave a bunch of questions unanswered. Because my initial thought reading this chapter was like, oh hey, we're gonna see like, the rest of the units kind of providing supporting fire. Because that's been kind of a running theme throughout this series, like, rely on other people for help. You don't have to do everything on your own. I feel like that was kind of leading up to, the other supporting units, the other numbers coming in and be like, hey, we'll provide backup support. Because number 9 has so many kaiju inside of him, we'll overwhelm him with, like, a bunch of other techniques all at once so he can't respond fast enough. But, yeah, I guess, I guess this was basically an inevitability. Like, at some point, Kafka was going to have to go berserk. My first concern with regards to that earlier, I thought, like, that was going to take the shape of, like, Mino was going to get hurt or almost killed again. And that would what cause Kafka to, like, lose control and kind of go berserk with number 9. But I guess, it does make sense that, this would be something he would have, trained with or kind of tried to, like, perfect and master during his little training sessions once he lost control the first time. I don't know. I think my feelings on this will really depend on the next couple of chapters, and if we get flashbacks to his training session with this, like learning, like trying to control, like learning how to control this thing. If he could figure out like what this thing's like motivation stuff was. But yeah, we'll see how it goes from here. Solid-ish chapter, but yeah. So with that said, if you all enjoy this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, I got a couple of Shonen Jump stuff coming out today before I go back on hiatus for a while. I'll do a proper channel update once, or if I plan on coming back to the channel. But yeah, look forward to that. Until next time, this is Ash. Talk to you all later.